Welcome to Monlo Prep. Monlo Prep is a preparatory track of Monlo, so which helps you in improving your problem-solving skills and get into Monlo. So the main purpose of these live sessions is to enhance your problem-solving skills and score 2600 points and help you into scoring 2600 points in Hacker Rank and get into Monlo. So in today's session, I'll be taking up the concept of arrays. So my session will proceed like this. So basic concepts of arrays I'll take up, and some examples or problems related to arrays will be covered. Good. Let me share my screen and start with this. And during the session, if you have any queries, just feel free to text me in the chat, guys. I'll address your queries at the end of the session. So in today's session, let's start with arrays. Good. So what is an array actually? Generally, whenever we are required to process or handle any data items, good. Suppose you want to store a single value, you need one variable and you can do that one. Like take the example, suppose you want to store the name of a particular student or a person. So you're storing the name of that person. So you need one variable to handle that one. Good. Now the same context yesterday I have discussed that if you want to store the names of multiple students, isn't it? So generally, a beginner level programmer would need, like if you want to store names of some 100 students. So what a beginner level programmer would say that, sir, we need 100 variables, 100 different variables to store 100 different names. Good. But in that is not the case. It is very difficult to manage or handle such variables. Good. So when do we use arrays or when do we use array is nothing but whenever we want to organize a group of elements, a large element number of elements have to be organized that are having a similarity in them, isn't it? For that purpose we are going to use an array. So the definition of an array is like this: an array is collection of elements. An array is collection of elements that are referred with a common name. Good. So we are going to have set of elements. So in JavaScript, how do we declare an array? How do we declare an array in JavaScript is this way, guys. So use the keyword var, then array, whatever is the array name, then is equals to then square bracket. This would just create an empty array. Okay. This would just create an empty array with no elements in it. Isn't it? The other way of creating an array is this one. Suppose if you want to create an array using the array object, this also would create an empty array. Sorry. These are the two methods in which we can create an array in JavaScript. We want to initialize, create an array and initialize. So what do you mean by initialization? Creating, assigning the values, isn't it? At the place of declaration only, isn't it? How do we declare that one is this way. So we want to initialize set of elements. So array elements are separated by comma. So I want to give what 10, comma 20, comma 30. These are the elements that we have, isn't it? Now you could have any number of elements in this array. So in this example, you can see here we are using array here ARR, which is organizing, which is having how many elements here? 3 elements are there. All these 3 elements are referred with a common name. What is that? We are giving it as what? ARR is the name. So how can we access the elements? Console.log. So array name. So JavaScript also follows zero-based indexing. That is, array elements will start from the index of what? 0. So the first element, that is 10, is at the index of 0. If you want to refer to that one, you can see here array name is ARR, and then followed by that you have an index of 0. Good. So you can see here array of 0 will give us the value 10. That is, this 10 is at the index of 0 that has been displayed. Good. If you want to get the next element index is what? 1. If you want to get that element, you are going to have it as what? 1. You can do that one in 20. The next element is what? 30, that is at the index of what? 2. Good. So the last element index is what? 2. There are 3 elements. The last element index is what? 2. So like this, you are going to have the elements accessed with that array name followed by the index. So suppose if we are having some 100 elements, we cannot go on writing simply. So we can iterate through the array and get the elements. So how can we get that? How? Let's see that one. Before that, one simple concept, like in JavaScript, how many elements are there in an array? We can get it through the property, that is arr.length. So this would give us what? 3. So that is number of elements that are there in this array. Suppose if I increase the number of elements, let us say to 50 and 90. In this case, what would happen here? The size of the array is how much here? 5. So that we can get it through this property. Now let us iterate through the access all the elements. So how do we access all the elements? We can use for loop. Okay. So where I'm going to have the index starting from where? 0. So I'm using one variable I to refer to the index of 0. Then it should go up to what? Array length, isn't it? Less than that one. If the array size is 3, it should go to 2. It should stop at index of 2. If the array size is 5, it should stop at the index of 4. Good. Now let's display that one. Console.log of array of I. So what will happen here when we are giving I value is 0? So array of 0 would give us this value 10, isn't it? Then if it is next I plus plus, in the next iteration I value is increased by 1. So you'll get the next value, that is 20. Next I plus plus I value. So I value will be what? 0, 1, 2, isn't it? Then next one is what? This 50. Good. So that way you can just access the elements in an array one by one. So using this for loop, let's check that one. So this is the first method which we are using to access the elements. You can see here we have accessed all the elements from the first to the last. Good. So this is one way you can access it using the index. So the second method is there. You can use what? For where I in array. So this will give you an index of all the elements. Console.log array of I. So there is a variation of for loop in JavaScript in. So that will give you the elements. You can see here it has also displayed this one. So for where I is there, it will give you the index. So we don't have to bother about assigning. In the above example, first method you can see here is this. Everyone, yes, can you get me? Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So there was a disconnection, I think. Fine. So what you are going to access is there is no need of giving where what is the index and next iteration. So automatically it will just traverse through all the elements. So this is the second method. And next third method is you can just give here for where or element, each element of array, isn't it? You can give off and declare that one. You can just check it here, console.log of element. So you can see here, this is the third method. So what is there here? Each element will be taken into consideration here, isn't it? For where element of, there's no need of giving what index directly. First element will be taken, next element. From the first to the last element, all the elements will be processed. So this is how you can use. There are other also, like for each is there. Okay, there are functions with arrays. Yeah, you can use these three methods to organize the elements in an array. And in JavaScript, like you can have an array declared to store values of any type, isn't it? So like suppose if I declare here array name as student and declare here, isn't it, 101, then name Ravi, isn't it? Then codes as JavaScript. Good. So this way you can do that one. This way you can do that one where student is equals to 101 Ravi and JS. So what would happen here? Like you are going to have values of different data type. They need not to be of same type, but they are related to one entity, single entity. So 101 is the index of 0. This one is at the index of 1, and this one is the index of 2. Cool. Fine. Yeah, let's take up one simple example. You can have values of any type in an array. Now, when we are having an array, let us assume we have an array of some elements like 10, 20, 30. So, how you are going to find the sum of the elements? Sum of the elements of this array. So, how can we do that one? Okay, let's declare an array first. Arr is equals to with some values 10, 20, 30. Yeah, these are the basic problems. At the end of the session, I'll take up more complicated problems by the end of the session. Good. So what we have to do, first of all, we have to iterate, isn't it? So what we'll be doing for var I is equals to 0, then semicolon I less than array dot length. With the same logic you can use those who are doing HackerRank in other language also. You can take here var. I can just take one variable as sum and assign the value 0. This variable sum is to store the summation of all these numbers, isn't it? Good. So you can just go here. Sum is equals to sum plus what we are going to do here. What each element you are going to have is from the array that you are going to take it and just assign it. Okay, going to add it and store that value in the sum. So how it goes, guys? Like it's a simple logic to find the sum of the element. First of all, ARR of I will give you 10. Some value is initially 0. 0 plus 10, it is 10. Okay, so sum is 10, then 20 plus 10, it is next iteration. Array of I will give you the next value as 20. Okay, so it will iterate like this, and you are going to have the sum of these elements. You can just check that one, console.log sum. Is that we are going to display here as an output. Okay. It is 60. Whatever elements are there, it's sum, you could just get that one. Fine, guys. So like when we are able to get each and every element in an array, we can do anything, isn't it? Yeah, we can do anything with that one. So you can just find, you can get the elements, you can add them, you can just process it in any way according to the requirement. So this simple example shows you like there could be some beginners. So I'll just make it easy for you. So what we are doing here, value of sum is initially 0. So I value is 0 here. I less than ARR length means length value is how much? 3 here. So it will come into this loop. ARR of I 0 will give you the value as 10. So 10 value is taken here. It is added with the sum 10 plus 0. Result is stored in the sum. Next it will go to what? I plus plus. In the next iteration, I plus plus I value will become 1. Then the condition is true here. We come here, array of 1 will give the value as what? 20 here. Isn't it? So this value will be taken. So like that it will repeat and process and add one by one all the elements. Good. So when the loop is terminated, you have the summation in the variable sum that we are displaying there. Good, guys. Now suppose if you want to display the elements in the reverse order. Reverse order is from 30 I want to get it. How do you get that one?
Sir, in the for loop, we have decrease.
In the reverse, okay. Good. Yeah, just
Sir, B R is equal to length.
text me in the chat, guys. So text me in the chat.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. So what we have to start for loop is from that. From the chat, what we can do is here. you want, you can get. Yeah, revert elements in the reverse order. Reverse order means where we have to start the index, everyone. Just write out what is the index of 30. We have to start from that one. Just text me in the chat, everyone. I want everyone to try here.
Yes, sir.
Some of you may be already having the idea. You can text in the chat. So what is the index of 30 here? 30 index is how much? Just type in the chat, guys. What is the index of 30? I don't see anyone just texting.
What is the index of 30 is 2.
Okay. How about others? Index of 30 is how much? 2. Okay, good. So what will happen here? So we have to start from this last index, isn't it? So I value should start from there. So giving that, we can get it what? Array dot.
Array dot length.
Okay, good. So array dot length will give us value as 3, but it should start from where?
It should start from
Minus 1, isn't it? It is what? Array dot length minus 1. And this value should be what? Suppose if this index is what? 2, then we can get it, isn't it? So what should be the condition where that loop should terminate? So we should come up to what? Like this. One by one we have to traverse and come in the reverse order. This index of this one is 2. Next one is 1. Next one is 0. We should stop at the index where we are having 0. Isn't it? And every time we should decrease. In every iteration we should decrease. So how you are going to do that one? Yeah, you are giving minus, that's right. So first starting with array dot length, will give this value as 2. Then in the next iteration it should be what? Minus 1. Good. So what is the condition where the loop should terminate? Is I should be greater than or equals to what? 0. If it goes beyond that one, you are going to stop and terminate the loop. Console.log array of I. There is no need of sum here. Okay. You can see here, get some value also we're getting 0 despite. Good. So we got the output here with the values. You can see that we're getting 30, then 20, then 10. At the place of 10, it is terminating, guys. Yeah, there are simple things like we can do it using arrays. More things we'll discuss in problem solving, guys, in the next week. We are going to have problem solving on arrays, that we'll discuss it at that point. Good. And suppose if I want to display, yeah, any queries if you have, just can text me in the chat directly. Fine. Now suppose I want to display the even elements. Even elements in an array. So how we are going to do that? So even in the
Sir, after the for loop, we have applied one if condition.
yeah, text me in the chat, guys. No, not here.
Okay.
What is the logic? We want to display the elements which are even in an array. So how we are going to get that one? Yeah, let's start from that where I is equals to 0. This is how you are going to iterate through the array dot length, isn't it? And I plus plus. Good. So how you're going to check? You're going to take the element array of I, isn't it? So mod 2 is equals to 0. Then we are going to consider it as an even. Then only we are going to display that one. Let's just display that one. Isn't it? So this would display only the elements which are even in an array. Isn't it? 15 was there, 15. So we are getting array of I means array of 0, you are getting 15 divided by 2. The mod value, you are getting the remainder is 1 here. 1 is equal to 0, condition is false. It's not executed, isn't it? Next element, 20 is taken. 20 divided mod 2 is 0, that is true, it is executed. Fine, 30 mod 2 is true, it's executed. 25, okay. So you can see a 25 mod, this one is false, this is not executed. So that way you can just get that one. Yeah, guys, like that you can process the elements in an array and do any operations. Fine. So like some more complicated examples we will take up at the end of the session. Yeah, coming to this concept of innovations. Yeah, let's take up some array functions, array related functions. So JavaScript built-in functions are there in the object array. Like suppose whenever we have created an array where suppose there is an array called as names is equals to empty. Now into this, if you want to add the names, so how would you add elements to this array? An already existing empty array is there. In this you want to add. So there is a method called as function called as what? Push. Okay, so you can see here I'm adding this Raj to this one. Let's do a console. So names is there. So you're getting Raj added to that one. You can check that one, guys. So push function is easy to add a new element to an array. So the push function will add a new element at the end of the array. So names dot push. Suppose if I'm giving Sachin, this will be added after Raj. You can check it out after Raj. So that way you can use push function and add the elements. Yeah, fine. If you want to remove the elements, you can use the function names dot pop. So pop will remove the last element in the array. You can just check that console dot log of names. So pop will remove the last element or the most recently added element was Sachin. That is the one that is deleted. Pop function. Okay. Now unshift function is there to add a new element at the beginning of the array. Push will add at the end. Unshift will add at the beginning. You can see here Ravi is added before Raj, isn't it? Now you are having the array with names Ravi and Raj. Let's add some more here. So names dot unshift of Smith. Yeah, semicolon is optional. You can see here Smith is added before Ravi. Good. So pop will delete the element at the end. Suppose I want to delete the element at the beginning, like Smith has to be deleted. So how can you delete that one? So you can use the function here names dot what? Shift. Shift will delete the element at the beginning of the array. Then just check it out. Smith is deleted. You can see here. Like these are the functions that we can use to add and remove the elements. Like push is there, is to use it to add and push function. Then you have unshift is also used to add the element, and pop is there to delete isn't it? And the shift is there to delete from the beginning of an array. Directly you can use these functions and perform the operations on the array. Fine. Now, once we have just stored some names here, you want to check particular value is there in the array or not. For that, we can use here, like names are you have given Raj, Ravi, Smith, isn't it? So I want to check whether name Sachin is there in this or not. So how can we do that one? So like generally we have to write the code using the for loop, traverse it. Okay, that is one way, and we can use the function here, like includes will be used for that one. Suppose I want to check whether Sachin is there in this or not. So it will return true or false. So let's do console of that and check. So what would we get here? Spelling is wrong. Includes LUD missing there. So we got the value as false. Why false, guys? Why we got the value as false here? Why? Because Sachin is not there. Like suppose if I give Smith, it's there. So we'll be getting the value as what? True there. So we got the value as true there. Why? Because that name includes function will check if the particular given value is there in the array or not. If it is there, it will return that value as true. If it is not there, it will return the value as false. That you can just check directly using the function includes. Good. Then you have the function console.log names dot. Suppose I want to find out index of. Okay. We don't know if Ravi is there in that array or not. If it is there, it will return the first occurrence of that one. So Ravi, this element Ravi is there in the array at the index. The index of Ravi is 1. That you got the output as 1 here. That way you got the output as 1 here. Why? Because Ravi is found at the index of what? 1. Now suppose if that was not there, if this element is not there, so what would we get the value here? Suppose I'm searching for Sachin. Sachin is not there in this array. So what would be the result here? That would give you the result as what? -1. So why you got that value as -1? Because Sachin is not there. So index of function will search for a given element, whether if it is there in the array. If it is there in the array, it will return what? The index where it is there. If it is not there, it will give you the index as -1. What includes will check, just will give you true or false. If it is there or not, it will just check for that one. Good. So that way you can use the function index for searching. Includes is one, and next one is index of. Okay, this function you can use for searching. Good. Now suppose if you are having names multiple times, like suppose I may be having student name, there could be Ravi's at some other place as well. Good. Suppose if I am searching for index of Ravi, so what I would get here? It is 1, but it did not give us this index. Suppose if you are having a particular element in an array more than once, multiple times, then how can we do that one? So there is a function here for that one, last index of. So it will give you, if you are having a particular element multiple times, the last index of will give you the last time where Ravi was found. So it was found at the index of what? 3. If you are having it what? Multiple times. This is the index at which it was found. Last found. Okay, suppose if it is there only one, we'll just return that one. Ravi was there only once means it will give you that index where it was found first. Good. So that way you can use the function last index of to know where that element was last found. Okay, guys. These are some of the functions that will help you out in the process of searching, isn't it? So last index of. Yeah. Fine. Let's discuss the next concept about slicing an array. Slicing is and splicing. So what do you mean by slicing here? Like suppose if I have an array with some values, array is equals to 10, comma 20, comma 30, comma 100, comma 40. Good. So what can we do here? What do you mean by slicing? Let me come to that one. So you have a function here that is slice function is there in the array. So that will help you out in this process of slicing. So how can you use that? So use the function slice to extract a sub array from a given array, isn't it? Given an array, from that if you want to extract, okay. So for that purpose you can use the function slice. So array dot slice function is there. You have to give the starting index. Suppose starting index has 0 and I'm giving what 2. So it will take from there, it will take the subarray starting from the index, this is the starting index and the ending index, excluding that one. So we'll get what? Excluding 2. So 10 and 20 will be the, or sorry, 1 up to 0, 1 will be taken as an output. So we'll get in subarray with this one, console.log of this. So we got the value as 10 comma 20. Why? This is the starting index and this is the ending index, excluding that one. So we got the value of index of 0 and 1. Suppose I want to get it from this one, 20 to 100. So what would be the criteria, guys? So the index of 20 is how much here? It is what? 1. We want to start from here up to 100. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Its index is 3. So we'll be giving here it as what? 4. Is that okay, guys? So slice will just extract the array, sub array from the given index to the end index. It will just extract and give you a sub array. In this case, you got the value as 20, 30 and 100. This is also important, like when from a given array, if you want to extract and process the array separately. For that, we can use the function slice. But for that, there is a function that is slice, and for splicing, like if you want to splice, yeah, the splice function takes 3 parameters. The index of 2. So what is the value at the index of 2? 0, 1, 2. That is 30. So I want to replace how many values? 0 values. What I want to replace it with what? Some other value. 999. Good. Console.log of array. So what we got here, guys? So what is splicing here? Splicing is used to replace or modify the values. We can use splice to replace or modify the values in an array. For that, we can use splice function. So what do you mean by this? The first parameter is the index. At the index of 2, I want to process that. Okay. So here at that point, 0, 1, 2. Good. So do not change how many values. 0 indicate do not change, do not modify any values from that place. And at that place, we want to update what? Not 999. So we got the output here, isn't it? At the index of 2, we got the output as 999. Good. Suppose if I give, instead of 0, if I give 1, what would happen? That at the index of 2, okay, one value would be modified and it will be replaced with what? 999. Suppose if I give 2 here, so actually this is having how many values are there in an array? 10, 20, 30, 100 and 40. From the index of 2, how many values we are deleting here? 2, isn't it? So 30 and 100 will be replaced. This will be replaced with what values? 999. Yeah. So you can give multiple values also. If you want to replace with the multiple values, you can give here 999, and you want to give a 888 also, you can just check that one. You can see here. So 30 and 100 from that are replaced with what values here? 999 and 888. So that way we can use the function to replace or modify or update also. That can be done using splice. Once again I repeat guys, like further reading if you want to go, you can just check it out guys. I recommend you to go through this one. So array dot, you can just go for the splice. So there is I recommend you to go through this one guys. So I'll just change. So there is MDN Mozilla Documentation Network is there. Clearly, it will just give the syntax. If you want to check for that one, you can just check the syntax. Start, delete count, item one, like that. You can get documentation related to these guys. That is developer.mozilla. You'll get that one. You can just Google that one. You'll get that. That is in the MDN. So there are many other documentation, but this will give you a clear-cut idea of how not only splice, any other function also you can just refer to that. Yes, these are some of the functions that we can use in arrays. There are others also, like there are advanced functions like filter, map, reduce, find, which will take the callback function as a parameter and process that each element in an array. That I'll take up in next session. One complete separate session on that I'll have on array. So these are some of the array functions that we have seen. Good. Yeah, let us take up one simple example. Suppose given an array of names, display those names whose length is greater than 5. Okay, so you are given names. Let us take here where names is there. Okay, Ravi. Then what we are going to do, guys? Next thing, Mahi, Navin, Rajesh. So in this case, our output should be what? Naveen and Rajesh. The names which are having number of characters in them should be what? Greater than 5. So how we are going to do that one? Yeah, let's take the variant of this one for loop for where each name we are going to take for name what of is there, isn't it? There is a one way of what names. So each name we are going to get it. So first of all, we'll get Ravi and that will be stored in the name, isn't it? Yeah, you can use the zero based indexing also and do that. So how can we get that? If name dot length, name is a string, so we have a length property for that also, that will count the number of characters. So length will give us the number of characters in that one. So if we have number of characters greater than 5, then we are going to display that one, console.log name, isn't it? So that way we got Naveen and Rajesh. Good. Some problem solving will take up now, guys. Some more complicated problems will take up on arrays. Now I want to display the unique names in an array. Suppose if you are having names repeating multiple times, or in this case, yeah, fine. Name is there for name of names. Name dot length will give you the name. Ravi's length is what? 4. 4 greater than 5 false. It is not displayed. Next one is Mahi. Its length is also less than 4. It's false. Naveen length is how much here? 6. So that is true. It has displayed Naveen. Rajesh is there. Rajesh length is what? Less than 5. So that is not. Sorry, that is Rajesh is what? Greater than 5. It is displayed as an output. Now, how to display the unique elements in an array? So, how would you do that one? Suppose if I have an array of integers, I want to display the unique elements. Like it could be having 10, 20, 10, and 30, then 10, then 50, then 50, and 20. So like that you have elements, repeating elements. So I want to just get the unique elements in an array. So how can we do that one? Yeah, nobody's texting in the chat, guys. So what could be the logic? Give a try here, everyone. How can we get the unique elements in an array? Yeah, the core basic logic will follow here without using any other concept of set and that. Yes, nobody's trying. In the chat, you can just type there. So what is the logic that we are going to find? So what I think is I'm going to take 10 and check whether it is there in the remaining part of the array, isn't it? If it is the first element, okay. So let's take one array here. What I feel is simple concept, unique. For that, let's take one another array with empty elements. Then for each value, isn't it? Yeah. For I is equals to 0, then semicolon, then I less than array dot length, then I plus plus, isn't it? So what we'll be doing here? What we'll be doing here? First of all, you are going to take 10 and check if it is there in the unique array or not. If it is not there, we are going to check. So if we are going to check unique dot, just now we have seen the function includes. Okay, if we are having the element, what is that array of I? Array of 0, isn't it? This 10 value. So unique is another array that we have taken empty. It's empty at the beginning. So dot includes means it will give what? True. Does it give true? Does it includes? No, it gives us what? False. So let's like negate this one. So not false is true. If it is not there, we are going to add that. So how we are going to add it to the array? For that we can use the function what? Push, and just store that element that we are processing, isn't it? So like that, you are going to say first of all 10. So not includes of this 10 is false. So not false is true. You have pushed that one. So array will now have the value as what? 10, isn't it? Now next element is taken is what? 20. 20 dot includes is also what? False. Not false is true. So that is also pushed. So it will have the element now 20. Okay. Next element that you are having what? Is 10. So includes of this one will give us value as what? Includes of 10 is what? True. So not true is false. It will not push this element. So 10, this 10 is not taken. Next one is 30. That is taken. Next one is 30. 30 is already processed and it's already there. It is not pushed. 50, for the first occurrence, it is pushed. So the next occurrence of 50 is left out. 20 is also left out. So that way we are getting what? Console.log of unique. So you can see here we are getting the unique elements from an array displayed like this. This is a simple logic that you can use to have the elements in an array displayed. Okay. Is that okay? Good. Any queries in this? Good, guys. It's a simple logic to find the unique elements in an array. Any queries in this? You can just text me in the chat. Fine. Let's go to the next problem here. Count the common elements in two arrays. common elements in two given arrays. Okay, suppose you have an array 1 given unique values are there, and 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40, and there is array 2 also where array 2 is given. So what we are going to do with this one, suppose you are given 90 comma 10. So how many common elements are there? There's only one common element in this, so output should be what? 1, isn't it? Suppose if you are having 20, the output should be what? 2. Why? Because 10 is there in this, and in this also, and in this, and in this also. So how we are going to do that, guys? Yeah, no one is texting in the chat. So how many loops do we need for this one? I want you to give some answer, guys. Are you there, everyone? No response from anyone. Good. Okay, fine. So first of all, let me iterate through the outer loop for where yeah, I'm going to use the outer loop for that. I is equals then I less than array 1 dot length. Okay, then I plus plus. Good. Now each element has to be compared with every element in the nested array. So for that we need a nested loop here. So what you can do here, for you can use another loop to iterate through the second array. So for that I'm using the index as what? J array 2 dot length J plus plus, isn't it? So what we are going to do here, if array of I, that is element that you are taking from array 1, array 1 of I is equals to array of what? J. Yeah, let's take one variable for counting that. Count initially, then give it as 0. So how many common elements are there? Whenever there is a common element found in first, when we compare the element from the first and second array, just let's increase the count plus plus. Good. So as you iterate through the array, you are going to have the array processed. The outer loop, you are using that to process the elements of the first array, and inner loop we are using to process the elements of the inner array. So array 1 of I, so we will take this element and we will compare with all the elements in the second array. We can simplify this using includes and other things, but the basic core logic I have written so that it will be easy for others also, those who are doing HackerRank in Python or Java also. Console.log, can just check here, count. Array is not there, so we take array 1. This is what? Array 2, sorry. So there are two common elements you can see. We got the output as 2. Why? Because there's 10 and 20. Let's remove 20 here. Yeah, guys, the elements are unique in each and every array. That is how we can get the unique elements from an array. Any queries in this, guys? You can just text me in the chat. Okay, fine. So let's go to one more interesting concept of what sorting. So these are basic concepts that we are having. So array provides us with the function of sort. Okay, sorting can be done using the function sort here. So how can we do that one? Let's see here. Suppose we have an array is equals to with names. Let's take here Ali is there, Ravi is there, Zavi is there. So array dot sort, let's put it here. You can see we got the elements in the descending order. Can you see we got first of all Zavi, then Ali, then Ravi. No, it's not with respect to the length, guys. It is with respect to the ASCII values. Because if we have Ali, Ahmad, and you can see we got first Zavi. So why? Because the ASCII value of Z, capital Z is high, so that is displayed first, then A, then R. Good. So that way we can use sort. Suppose if you are applying on numbers, it will be different. Suppose you are having numbers and you want to get them sorted. So how would we get that one? Suppose you have 100, then 2 is there, 30 is there, 90 is there. And just check how we are getting this sorted. So are we getting them sorted in this order? No, they are as it is. You can see here. Yeah, if it was 1 here, you can check it out. 1 was placed at the beginning, guys. Can you see here? Now that's 1. So it is as per characters, isn't it? It is as per the character. The first character is 1 here. So ASCII value of that is less, so it is displayed first. Then here also we have 100. First character is 1. So we got that next. Next one is 2. If you want to go for the integer sorting, there's a different process. So for that we have to give a callback function. Just what is that? Then arrow function. Then if you're giving a minus b, it would do in place sorting. Just do in place sorting. Now you can see here we got a numeric sort. If you want to get in the descending order, so it is what? B minus A. Good. We got it. B minus A, that is 100, 90, 32, and 1. Then 100, 90, 32, and 1. So how does it work means, like when you're giving the parameters A comma B, first 2 values will go, and there at that place to do in place sorting. Good. The next one, so B minus A, which one is greater is, you'll be having a swap of that one. Good. So B minus A means 100 minus 2, that it will return true or false, and based on that it will do in place sorting. So if you want to go for further reading on sort, just check the documentation network here. You'll get more on that, guys. Yeah, any queries in today's session, guys? Yeah, any queries if you are having, you can just ask me.